Hey, so I'm going to call the next couple of videos the music series, and I do want to talk about our music as Kenyans. Obviously, I'll borrow from everybody else, but I really want us to have a serious conversation about our music. So no preamble, let's get straight to it. Can I talk about our gospel music, because that's been the conversation as we went towards the end of 2016. To the gospel artists who will be watching this and your entire crowd who'll be like, did you hear what Caroline said about you? I need you to check yourself, because I think you forgot or you've never known what is the nature of gospel music. You call it gospel because you're Christian. Spiritual music, whether you're Buddhist, whether you are Muslim. Spiritual music in its complete and true sense does one of three things. If it can do all three, even better. It testifies, and incidentally, you cannot testify if you've not had a test. It witnesses, and it also ministers. So let's go back to the whole conversation of Tigawana and Nyonyo and other nonsense that ruled the gospel music scene towards the end of 2016. I'm just sitting there watching Twitter out of the corner of my eye, because you know me, I just wait until the dust dies down. I'm like, kuja vilona kuja tutaonana. What was that? What was that? And I'll tell you why I say this. You and I know that if you hear the right gospel song, let's stick with spiritual gospel here, at the right time of the day, afternoon, early morning or evening, if it literally ministers to you, it changes how your day starts, okay? The reason even Negro spirituals, as they're called, literally when they're sung, people cry, is that it is that little bit where it ministers to a story and a need in your life that can't be touched physically, okay? So if it doesn't minister to you, it failed. If it doesn't testify, it failed. And I think for me, when I think about music, just, you know, off the top, that testifies, is that it's King Kaka and Elani, Papa, that is testifying. Because something in the narrative of that song and the fact that there is regret and there's something about me trying to put something to bed reaches out to the rest of us. I think it was probably his largest song in 2016. I could be wrong, by the way. I've just begun to listen to King Kaka now that we are both judges on Blaze. And I say this with all due respect, I am rubbish, but I love that. I love Tanzania, same thing. It testifies and it witnesses. Okay, but I know in the middle of that Tigawana, and I would like to say to the two of these artists who I love totally, is Tigawana yourself. Because if you do not understand what your ministry is, then you've not only lost, but you've lost your fans as well. When Sauti Sol did Kuliko Jana, when you listen to the words of that song, Bwana ni mwokozi wangu, tena ni kiongozi wangu, ananipenda leo kuliko jana. You tell me that if that song doesn't talk to you on the right day, doesn't catch you off guard, it doesn't literally give you goosebumps. And that's why it works, because it has testimony. And you cannot testify if you've not gone through a test. But it witnesses as well that your God is great and he loves you, and he loves you more today than he did yesterday. But it ministers, because throughout that song, Bien, especially when he's the lead vocalist, preaches. If you're not doing any of that with your gospel music or your spiritual music, I don't care who you worship, stop. Testify, witness, and minister. And if you don't get that right when you're actually getting into the recording studio or just out with your piece of paper writing, then shut up. I mean, like this other guy with his nyonyo. I mean, go and sit in the naughty corner for the next 10 years. Don't try and tell other people that they can't do gospel. You don't have the right to tell me when I can and cannot testify, because the God I worship hasn't chosen you over me. No, he hasn't. Okay? Subscribe. I'm not done with this conversation yet.